Hey everybody, because that's what you did before we pressed the record button. Anyway, hey everyone, welcome back to the Nook podcast. I'm your host as ever, Peppermint 8. Joined again by the Obsidian Nook, because it's half of this podcast. Why don't you say hello? Half the podcast, half the work. Not even that.
Well, Morgan joins occasionally.
Yeah, and this is half his channel.
I don't know if Morgan's big on films though, like we are.
He does watch a lot. He watches a lot of he watches less random shit. He was still a Marvel fanboy, but anyway, we are back with I think possibly one of our first.
Okay, I will pre-warn you.
I will pre-warn you before your pre-warning. The fan is on because Madam is hot. It's nearly spooky month. I think this will be out during spooky month.
My body doesn't work. Okay, I'm sorry. My hormones are out of whack. I'm really hot for some reason. I've just showered and I'm still hot.
It's very low though, so there may be a gentle breeze, but it's not like we've got it on max.
He found the weirdest of the weird film. Even I was like, what the fuck?
Bear in mind, a lot of you have probably heard of this film, or at least know of the influence of it. For her, for not such a... You don't really watch older films. First off, we are covering the... I don't know, I remember hearing somewhere that this is a remake of another film, except it's not related. Because there's a prequel in...
I've never heard of it. It's called The Thing. But...
It's for you, all you knew is that it's made by the guy who did Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
I was kind of thrown into it, and then I was like, is that the thing? When it came up, and you were like, that is the thing, and I was like, what the fuck?
It's Among Us the film for all you Gen Zs out there, basically. One of us is an alien, but we don't know who it is. If you remember Among Us.
Don't. Please remember that my mum didn't let me watch horror growing up.
You have, neither did mine, but unfortunately, I was exposed to the internet.
No, but the thing is, because of my LD, you got to remember, and because I went to a special needs school, you got to remember that was a lot stricter.
Do you want to slow down when you're talking?
You're monitored.
You weren't monitored, but you had to take extra care.
On the computer, because it's 10 or 11 years ago. For those of you, and please don't take offence to this, for those of you who had a mum who was broke and you were poor as fuck, and you couldn't afford internet, there was this thing called a dongle. Now please tell you.
I think I know a dongle. Do you mean a USB stick?
It was the USB stick for internet that Vodafone did back in the day, where you topped it up like £10 to £15 and you got so many hours of internet.
And for me,
that was how I played The Sims.
I was a Moshi Monsters Club Penguin kind of kid. But anyway, we're not here to talk about happy things. I was exposed to horror because my parents basically said don't watch it, and it's the big red button sort of situation where it's like, why am I not allowed to watch? Oh my god, this is horrific. They're not even the scary ones. Cybermen are creepy. I would understand. This is Doctor Who for those of you who don't know for some reason.
I'm just saying that something as simple as that creeped me out, and I would have a pillow.
Weeping Angels, I would understand.
No, the Cybermen, because they were big, they were metal, and they made noises as they stomped. I think that's what creeped me out the most.
Jesus. A parade is not where you want to be. Anyway, yeah, so we're doing the John Carpenter's The Thing.
You can tell it's his film, because once you said it...
And the score is very John Carpenter with the Halloween.
John Carpenter, not only...
Oh, Tiny's back.
Not only is it in the art style, but you know that music. Because
it
had that... Not the same music, but I want to say it was similar.
Yeah, he might. I think he had the same composer, because I can't remember.
That's how you know.
Yeah. Oh, Tiny has joined us. Hello, Goblin. She doesn't like the fan. Anyway, yeah. So we're doing The Thing, continuing the trend of me picking sci-fi horror after I chose Alien last time. If we don't count Small Soldiers, that I didn't realise we only did in less than 10 minutes. My cough is basically gone, by the way, if you're a frequent listener. But yeah, of course, this is a very influential body horror film from the 80s, I want to say, I think it was.
I mean, it's not bad. It has some
It's got some aged effects, don't get me wrong, but it still looks good.
It's got, like, blood and gore, but it's definitely got some gooey bits in there where you're just like... Ugh.
Yeah, this isn't a gory film. There's, like, melted up skeletons where they've been burned, but there's no, like, there's not, I mean, other than, like...
A lot of fire, though.
A lot of fire.
Because they use... What are those things they use for the...
Flamethrower.
They use the flamethrowers, and they're just using them a lot, and I'm just like, this is a lot of fire.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way they could kill it, and even then it didn't fully... But yeah, so... For someone who has not seen the prequel as well, I will do my best. I've only seen the kill count of it by Dead Meat, and that was years ago. That is 2011. 2011 initially started by using practical effects, but they then changed to CGI, and it looks horrific. The practical effects in this is also horrific, but in a good way. Like, it's body horror, you got all the little tentacle things. The dude, Norris, who has a heart attack, and as he's getting defibrillated, his chest just opens.
Like, because I don't like weird stuff, and the thing is, like, a thing where it, like, absorbs people and copies them down to their cell. Yeah. A bit of background. And
that's the long and short of it. It's basically, it's an alien that consumes you and then replicates you, like, one for one perfectly. Except the only way they find out who is a thing is due to its, like, self-preservation nature, hence the blood tests.
Okay, so here's the two creepy things. The first thing is the head that grew legs that ran across the floor.
Spider head, yeah.
That creeped me out. I didn't know. And then the second thing was, there's a dog in this, but it's not a dog. Because obviously it's being copied.
Yes.
And I was like, because at the beginning there's two guys who are like in the helicopters and one's shooting at it, and I'm like, please don't shoot at it, please don't hurt the dog.
I said nothing throughout all of this, by the way.
And then on, it gets revealed that once the dog's put in with the other husky, are they huskies?
I think they're some sort of like snow dog. I don't think they're exactly they're basically huskies.
And once they get put in with the other dogs are just going mental.
I think the thing killed all the other dogs because they realised something wasn't right. It is disgusting, but it looks amazing.
And then I was like, I'm glad the dog died.
Yeah, because it kills all the other dogs and then they have to euthanize the rest.
And then I felt sorry for that guy because he generally was not a thing and he cared for the dogs.
He literally cared for the dogs, but then because all of the mistrust, he then tried to betray MacReady, who just caps him in the head. But yeah, they all weren't exactly friends at the beginning of the film, but slowly the distrust starts to come out when they realise that people are getting replicated.
That film is like on crack. Like, if you think Delulu on Fortnite gave you trust issues.
Oh, Delulu and Fortnite. Oh, I wonder what she's been playing for the past 2 weekends while I've been at work. Yeah, this is, like I say, Among Us, the film, basically.
Because even just sitting there thinking, like, who the hell do you trust when you can't see the thing?
And when they act exactly like them. There are theories online of how you can tell who is it. Because of the self-preservation thing, a lot of the characters who were revealed to be things stuck together. When originally in the film they were quite far apart, but it might be pulling a bit too... I think it might be pulling a future... Like, that might be a bit much, you know. But yeah, and of course the end of the film is who is the thing. And there's... Good God, there's so many theories and different canons.
I hate that it, like, because it was... I don't even know if the one who wasn't the thing made it out alive.
It depends on what canon you take, because there's so many different things that...
I know you said there was a game you played.
There is a video game that also confirms Knowles, who's in the tunnels, at least if you play the remaster. I'm just gonna say it, the black guy, you know how Gary gets his face like, and the other guy just walks off and disappears? In the game, he survives and then kills himself to stop himself becoming a thing. Like the guy who slit his wrists in the communication.
That was really, like, well done and that was really gross at the same time.
It's disgusting because his blood had, like, poured out, but it was frozen. It was
really interesting to see, like, a dead frozen body.
You see loads of dead frozen bodies, but not ones that are, like, frozen while they're still bleeding.
Yeah, but they gave us close-ups.
Yeah, this is John Carpenter, that's why. That's why this film is so good. Because they did not hold back on, like, body horror. But yeah, so the ending, of course, leaves Keith David and Kurt Russell, their characters, as, oh, who could be the Thing? While it's widely accepted that Childs is the Thing, mainly because there's not so much fog from his breath and he takes a drink of alcohol, big quotation marks, that MacReady was using to make Molotovs. But I think in the comics it's confirmed that Childs is the Thing. But in the game, it's never confirmed. Because in the game, Childs is found frozen to death after MacReady basically leaves him there to go find the rescue team who you play as. So, because of the self-preservation thing, take a shot every time I say thing in this fucking episode. But basically, the self-preservation thing, he would have thought, right, the Thing probably thought to itself, if I go with him, I can get to civilization where I can take over the world in however many days that Blair saw.
Yeah.
So, but because MacReady left him, he froze to death, whether he was human or not. But I think MacReady survives every canon. I don't know. I haven't done the playthrough yet for the channel, so stay tuned for that. I have it, I just haven't done it. I want to do it, but we've got backlog. Because we upgraded to a PS5 and we've got loads of shit recorded on the PS4. And then I'm going to take a break from PS4 games and maybe do something longer.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not to do with the show.
Basically, I said that you can't record on the PS5 until we've got everything off the PS4.
Yeah, basically.
But I think he's gone ahead and done something anyway.
I did that on Ron's PS5 and then finished it up here. That's her stepdad, by the way. If you're not a frequent listener. But yeah, as mentioned, the practical effects in this film is gnarly. There is so much good body horror and it's just disgusting.
The explosions are good as well.
The practical explosions. Again, as everyone who does like film reviews, and especially us, practical just looks better than CGI. Unless you can't help but do CGI.
I feel like we can't do a best kill, worst kill because some of them were off screen.
Grief, yeah. Plus, can you?
Because
I guess
you can't even give it to the guy who.
I think I know what we can do for best kill.
Was off screen.
He looks cool, but he was off screen. So, plus because of all the different canons, it makes picking the worst kills difficult. Because it's like, who can you say actually is dead in this? If you look at the film as a whole, excluding the comics, the books, and the fucking video game, because there was meant to be a sequel, but it didn't count. It didn't happen. The prequel we haven't seen, so we can't even count the deaths from that film because some of the dead bodies they find at the station are characters from that film.
So is this the first time we're not doing a best kill, worst kill?
This is not going to be the first time we do that, because what we are going to do, I think the best kill can go to Palmer, who turns into a thing and his head opens up and basically eats windows. Where he turns to the chair and he's like that and his face melts. And his head opens up and he basically bites him. Even if the guy looks like he's got a bucket of like red paint poured over his head when he's on the ground. The worst kill, I honestly think, can go to the Norwegian guy that gets shot by Gary at the start. Where he just caps him in the head.
Oh god, yeah, now I remember. I said that.
I mean...
And they were like, oh, so he's not a thing then.
Well, no. They didn't even know about the thing at that point. They just shot him because he shot one of them in the leg, didn't he?
Yeah. So
they basically shot him out of self-defense. So yeah, I think we'll go with that. Although I can't remember his name. The guy who looked after the Huskies also gets shot. At least that scene is good for the intensity of it and the fact it's like the trust. Whereas the guy just getting shot is just... And nobody addresses them either and throughout the rest of the film. I think they burn their bodies, but other than the guy who drops his grenade and just gets wiped the fuck out. But yeah, I think that does it.
Yeah.
The things are very cool looking and they're different. I like how it's not just a creature that looks one way throughout the film, its form changes repeatedly.
It was very weird the first time seeing it because it had a head, it had some arms, it had some legs.
It was
and then
fucking
like
grim.
they did an autopsy on it and was like it had the same organs as a human being, and I was just like, this is just getting really bizarre.
And then they did studies and they saw that it was literally replicating the cells, which is why it had perfect organs. But yeah, will we cover the prequel? Not anytime soon. We've just done this, and the prequel was apparently pretty bad, so maybe in the future. Right now, no. And the video game will happen at some point. I've just got other stuff to do. But yeah, other than that, I don't think there's much to say, other than this film is iconic. Even if it wasn't well received, it is definitely a cult classic. And
I think it's aged well.
It has aged well.
Considering it's older than us.
If they did CGI for the effects, it would have looked atrocious by today's standards.
It's older than me, oh my god.
I think it's I want to say 89, 88, but I'm probably completely off. But yeah. So, other than that, I don't think there's anything else to add, unless you've got anything.
No.
Most you've talked in a review in a while.
Thank you.
But yeah, I think the more a film freaks you out, the more you end up talking in the review.
Well, it helps when you don't see it, because it's like you said to me, what do you want to do next? And I have a couple of films, but I've seen them so many times that I'm not going to be like surprised or be like, oh my god, that's disgusting.
And it's her choice next as well. I think we're going to watch one. Yeah, but now, because before you've got these films, because we basically rewatch stuff, review it, and then hardly ever rewatch them again. But you'll be able to look at it from a critical perspective as opposed to just luxury. So then you can actually decide, is this film something I want to keep because it's not actually good, as opposed to just like a popcorn flick where you just watch it for entertainment. But obviously, we've done so many films now. I think we're on episode 140 odd. I was completely off when I guessed in the last episode. I'm not even going to
give you any hints because I thought I've got one in mind, but I'm not 100% sure if I want to do it.
Excuse me.
So I'm not even going to be like.
We don't know. Because we were going to watch it.
Down and be like, oh, this film's. No.
Yeah, we were going to watch it tonight. I think whatever it is, our choice, but. Because it's now going to be spooky month, it's probably spooky month when this comes out. We're probably going to concentrate more on the horror stuff, because finally. So we will wait and see what happens. But yeah, until then, I've been your host as ever, Peppermint A, joined by the Obsidian Nook again, because we live together and that's just how it works.
No, I just randomly come in your house,
I'm in the house. Yeah. So basically...
Episode.
And here, guys, yeah. So yeah, you can find her links in the description if you want to. I won't blame you if you said no, it's full of shit. No, I'm kidding. I was waiting for you to just be shocked.
I've been told by a friend's child that it's brain rot, and I was just like, oh, thanks. So,
it's charming, it. Brutal honesty. Yeah.
It's like the worst honest critics, I think.
Autistic children are the worst. Oh my god,
you should get a bunch of kids on Britain's Talent, that'd be...
What, as you mean as the judges?
Yeah.
Okay, that would have helped. Anyway, yeah, we'll cut this off now because we're just going to go on side tangents like we always do. So yeah, thank you ever so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.